And welcome to Frank's School. Time's back in. I said time out. It's been maybe almost 2 weeks, I think, but time's back in. The prospectus that I was doing is not finished. There's two parts. There'll be a couple more, I guess. Also, I'm trying something with the camera. I'm not sure if it's right, but I'll leave it. I'm going on with being an English, what you normally think of as an English teacher, and I'm guiding the viewing of Robert MacNeil's The Story of English, and I'm going on to part 4, the Guid Scots Tongue. I guess that's the way you'd say it, the Guid Scots Tongue. It's about Scotland and Ireland and how the English language was affected by those countries and its history. I'd ask you to look at parts 1 out of 7 up through 3 out of 7. I think that's where, well, it'll take you to the end of, it'll say end of part 1. And that's a good stopping spot. Now, we're going a little faster than we have been, but I think that's okay. Now, since that, currently, the Scottish just voted to not be independent from England. It was close. But Scotland very nearly became an independent country this year. But no. It helps to understand some of the history as you look at this. But I'm not taking that much time yet to deal with the history. And I hope you get a better version than what's available on YouTube. I'm very glad it's there. I'll give you the link. Ideally, if you were in a classroom, I really think teachers, you should get a regular, normal copy and use that. Well, you're going to hear some about Robert Burns. I love some of his poetry. They mentioned that he died at age 37. He was one of the romantic poets. And I speak elsewhere in the course about the British. I call them British because I include Robert Burns. The British romantic poets. You could look at that if you wanted to. Marks of rusticity. I like that phrase. If you spoke with your dialect, a Scottish dialect, it showed marks of rusticity. And in this, one of the reasons I like this documentary is because it's very aware of what linguists know anyway, that one language is not superior inherently to another language. It's just the social attitude toward the languages. Well, you'll hear about the Scots-Irish, and once again, it would be good if you could explain some of the history. I have Scots-Irish ancestry, and a lot of the people in this area do. They probably don't even know what that means. The Scottish people who then went to Ireland and took the land and prospered there at the cost of the native Irish. But anyway, that's history, and then in the second part of it, I'm quite sure that he's going to show how that then came to the United States. The Giant's Causeway, that'll be mentioned. You could, as a teacher, you could stop and say, well, what is that Giant's Causeway? The Irish Catholics versus the Protestants. Well, back when this documentary was made, I think 1987, that they were fighting. It's calmed down now, but they're referring to those violent war, internal struggles going on there. You'll hear about St. Patrick. Everyone knows about St. Patrick's Day, but who was St. Patrick? Well, he'll be mentioned. You could go on with that. And I would ask you to look in the background to notice the field layout. When I look at things, I'm always looking at details in the background, for the architecture, the fields, the fences. Well, look at the field layout. It's quite different. Now, at a certain point, he's going to say, what I would say, sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. As a little kid, I learned to say that, and they do there apparently too. Well, here's what he says to show what it sounds like in Scottish dialect. Sticks and stains, it'll break me banes, but names, it'll never hurt me. Now, I can do that. I'm not an actor, and I can't put on accents. I can do that, though, because I'm just reading what it says there. And this is the spelling system that I developed, which I call RTOC writing, RTOC writing, a way to write down RTOC, the way I talk, we talk. And I may eventually, before I'm done with Frank's School, I may instruct in RTOC writing. Maybe. I've done it a little bit at a certain point. I mention it now and then as part of linguistics. But anyway, if you spell exactly what is being said with my system, you come up with sticks and stains that'll break me banes, but names it'll never hurt me. All right, I think that's enough for today. I'm back to being an English teacher. Bye for now.